Start recording. Hello! What's going on, everyone? You might be thinking, Metal, what are you doing? Where's chat? Where's your stream? Why you just recording this? Are you all by yourself? Are you just doing this just to spite us? Yes, I do. No, I just as I record this, I did a forge yesterday on the TOS, the Star Trek TOS, I should specify. Pilot episodes with Meme Repository, so that was fun. But I also watched She-Hulk yesterday because I've been seeing a lot of things on it on the interwebs, and I was like, you know what? I think I gotta go check that shiz out. And I took some notes, but it's not like super many notes, so I don't know. Maybe it's going to be longer than I expected. This is just me rambling, by the way. So I'm just going to go through these notes, have some thoughts I wanted to share, I guess. And with all the sludge that is coming out in this next month, I probably won't have time to do like proper forges on every single one of those because of work and other things I'm doing. Because time is a limited resource, I'm afraid. And I wish I had more of it. But alas, here we are. Recording the things all by myself. So yeah. So I watched She-Hulk, and you might be shocked to hear that I didn't like it very much. It does a very good job just shitting on Bruce Banner / Hulk / Smart Hulk. And yeah, it's just quite annoying to see that we just have to punch down the established characters. Whereas, Hulk is kind of established. I mean, he is definitely an established character, but he didn't get a lot of love. He didn't get a lot of love during the MCU. He was just in the movies. But the only singles movie solo movie rather, we got with him was I think it was 2008 Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. And I don't even know if I watched that one, but I think that I'm pretty sure this is the one that is considered canon these days with the Marvel Universe. But yeah, we never got a solo Hulk movie, which is very sad because there's a lot to explore with Hulk, especially after the blip when he started to figure out how to be Smart Hulk. But we never really know how that happened. And She-Hulk was actually had some hints in there in all the trailers and stuff. It's like, oh, we might be able to, I don't know, explore what he's been doing during the blip, what he's been trying to sacrifice. And as you might know, Hulk is like a pretty tragic character because I don't remember which movie it was, but we got to hear, and you've probably seen that clip running around in an attempt for people to show them that what she says to Hulk later on is kind of mean and pretty tasteless. You can almost say. So yeah, you might remember that we get to hear from Bruce Banner that he tried to kill himself because he didn't know what to do with the Hulk. So yeah, there's like a lot of depression with him going on, or at least that has been going on in the past, that he kind of got to terms with during all the happenings we got in the MCU. But we never get a proper exploration for that, and that's kind of sad because I think there's like a really cool thing you can explore, what his mindset is and everything, and we only get like bits and bobs during all the other movies, and yeah, but we never got a proper solo movie. But yeah, we get some kind of information in She-Hulk for that. Mostly we get that so probably I should just go there episode wise, because first episode basically starts with her being not interviewed. She's training a statement, her final statement for an upcoming case, which is no focus of this episode at all. It's just, oh, here, I'm doing this, saying these things, I prepared it, and then her friendo, I think Nikki is her name, if I'm remembering correctly, is like, oh, it was great, it was awesome, yay, good job, we're gonna win that case. But then we have dickish men person, I don't think we even get a name for him, I'm not sure. It's just really short. He's like, oh, maybe you should let me do the talking and stuff. Like, you don't want to fuck this up, don't fuck this up. So yeah, he's got to be mean to her, and her friend was like, oh, you're genius, you're great, you've been handpicked, blah blah blah. So yeah, already it's just like, oh great, you're gonna tell us she's a genius and everything. Can you just like establish that during, the first season of your show that you're airing right now? But yeah, no, we do the sledgehammer approach with that. It's like, you're a genius. You've been handpicked for this case. You're great. And also we get to know she's already basically Hulk in this time frame that we start the episode in. But yeah, it's like, yeah, we're gonna do the thing. Let's go. But then she does her, from what I understand, comic book thingy where she breaks the fourth wall, which is the thing she did in the comics, apparently, She-Hulk. And it's like, oh, hey, you probably won't be able to enjoy this fun lawyer show if you don't know why I'm actually She-Hulk. So let me tell you the thing. So we get to know that she is the cousin of Bruce Banner. And then we get the scene that is a few months ago. And, well, the scene you've probably seen on Twitter where they talk about... Well, we get a little bit talking from Bruce where it's just like, oh, yeah, my arm was fucked from the gauntlet and stuff, and I built this little device that keeps me in human form, which is kind of interesting in itself. So he somehow figured out to be Smart Hulk at some point, but I guess he wasn't able to turn back. I don't know if there's like a reference for that he actually can't do that anymore on all by himself. So I don't know. Just with the knowledge I have right now, which could be flawed, obviously, because I haven't watched all the Marvel things in a while, like the old ones. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense or not. It seems kind of weird that he's able to control the Smart Hulk form, but he just can't turn back ever now. Seems weird. Well, again, would be interesting to know, but we don't get a solo movie with him, so I don't know. Maybe it's been mentioned somewhere. I don't know. I haven't watched every single piece of Marvel because it's so much, and I just have that much time. But yeah, that's kind of weird. So yeah, they just kind of have this talkings, and there's like this hilarious thing where her theory is that Steve Rogers Captain America, is a virgin because he's been busy all the time and frozen and stuff, and they think this joke is so funny that it's going through the whole episode, basically. Even like an after credit scene where we actually get to know it's like, no, he lost his virginity 1940 something in blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's funny. There's probably people who think that's hilarious, but comedy is like this whole thing. You know what? I just don't want. I don't know. It's just leave Captain America alone. You destroyed him enough. But you just can't help yourself, can you? Anyway, so they get into a crash because there's like some spaceship from somewhere that wants to give them a message, as Hulk says later. They get in a car crash. They yeet themselves off the road. Oh yeah, she flips over the car, basically. They crash. She gets out, opens up the door to Bruce's side, gets her out, and he's like, no, don't drag me. You're gonna get blood on you, and then that's bad, gamma radiation stuff. But she gets bled on. She has an open wound, and then she turns into the She-Hulk and just, I don't know, goes rampage in the woods for a while. It doesn't look like she's actually destroying anything. We just see her waking up. I don't know if that's going to be a setup for later in the series. Where it's like, oh, actually, you destroyed, like, I don't know, this caravan with people in them and you killed them. But considering they want this to be like a fun lawyer show, I don't think this is going to have any repercussions. She just got lucky that she went into the woods, I guess. Because she's definitely not in control there, but that's not the thing that's going to stay that way. As we soon learn, because she's very good at being a Hulk, you might say. So yeah, she wakes up in the woods at night, she makes her way to some bar, and she goes to the public toilet there. For some reason, she hides getting there. I don't know if she just doesn't want to be seen dirty or something. Instead of just going in, it's like, hey, can I have your phone? And then she goes like into the public bathroom. And there's like a flock of ladies coming in. It's like, oh no, what happened to you? Where's your shoes? You're dirty. Whoever did this to you, he's not worth it. It's like they think just a man did something bad to her or something. It's I don't know. I think you call it wine mom comedy or something. At least I heard the term floating around. I don't know, just I'm sure some people will find that funny. It's just not doing it for me. It's not doing it for me. Anyway, she asks for her phone. She calls Bruce. She's like, hey, can you pick me up or something? So she waits outside. And then she's getting catcalled by evil men or something. I don't know. She's like, hey, you doing all right? Blah, blah, blah. And this catcalling annoys her so much that she turns into She-Hulk and yells at them. But then she gets tackled by Bruce, and she goes out again. And she wakes back up in... Well, it's actually kind of funny, because she says she's so good at controlling her anger later on is why she is able to control the She-Hulk persona. Which is not actually a persona, it's just she as a She-Hulk. But she's not in control there yet, but apparently it takes her like 3 attempts to actually control it. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. So yeah, she wakes up in some room. He's like, oh shit, where am I? What's going on here? And yeah, she looks around. There's like a little bar on the beach and stuff. So yeah, she goes down and she sees Smart Hulk is in a laboratory, just hanging out. He's like, yo, what's up? You doing good? She's like, hey, where are we? And we get to know that we're in Mexico on some beach. And apparently this is where Hulk, or Bruce Banner, fixed himself to become Smart Hulk in multiple years. And he tells us that Tony Stark built this for him, and he was kind of hanging out here for sometimes. And we're just kind of hanging out, have some drinks, complain about Steve Rogers not being around and stuff. All interesting things I would love to see between those characters, but that's probably nothing we will ever get to see, because I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is ever coming back as Iron Man. I don't think. It doesn't seem like he's super interested. I could be wrong. Maybe they give him so much money at some point, he's like, you know what, I can come back for another movie, who knows. Especially with all the multiverse shenanigans we're doing. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, just having this talk between them where Tony is just annoyed / sad about Steve being like going rogue and whatever. Yeah. Something we never got. There's so much material you can explore that happened during the blip that we don't even fucking look at it. It's really annoying, because there's some, like, we have Hawkeye going like almost evil and destroying all these, I don't know, Yakuza places or whatnot. Because we only see it's like, oh, he went rogue, does his things. We see Hulk became Smart Hulk. We don't know how. Or during the time Steve Rogers and the others went like rogue and did their own little Avengers faction in the dark. I think was that Secret Avengers? I actually don't know. I'm not very knowledgeable of the comics, but I think Secret Avengers would be the comic series for that. I'm not sure. I would need to look it up, but it's just me guessing, because the name fits, I guess. But yeah, there's so much things we never even explored. Like the whole thing during the blip, that's just a thing that happens in a time skip in Endgame, I mean, sorry. Which is, yeah. It's annoying. We could just skip there, and I think it's wasted potential. There's so many cool things you could explore. But, well, we're far, far beyond that. We're just here to, get our new characters going and shit on the old ones. It'll just exactly apparently what it feels like. Anyway, she's here now with Hulk. It's like, hey, what's going on? It's like, well, you you got blood on you. You're a Hulk now. There's no changing that back. And she's just mostly annoyed. Like, you got a lethal dose of gamma ray. She's like, oh God, am I gonna die? It's like, no. You just have to do things. I was about to explain that. And Joke's like, well, you're not supposed to joke at that. Not joke. The joke is that you should stop at the lethal part. There's a shit place for a pause. But yeah, he tells her, it's like, yeah, you just need to get accustomed to it, and we gotta figure that stuff out. And he tells her, it's like, hey, I analyzed your blood, and for some reason you have, what was it? Oh yeah, you have this rare genetical condition where you're able to process gamma rays, just like me. So yeah, you survive. It's all good. Oh yeah, synthesize was the word they're using. It's like, yeah, you're able to synthesize gamma radiation. So would be interesting to know that if, like, mechanically in this universe, everyone who's, like, I guess is bound to him by blood, because she's the cousin, so she might be, because she's related to him. So if people that are more closely related to him, are they able to do that as well? If he would get a kid, would they be able to be a Hulk? Will they just be a Hulk in general? I don't know. That's nothing that we explore here, but it's just interesting to think about from a mechanical standpoint. Because I think in the comics, Hulk has a son somewhere. I think somewhere during World War Hulk, if I'm not mistaken, when he's on this planet. I think he has offspring there. I think. Yeah, that's just me with my very limited comic knowledge. So take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's the thing we do. And it's like, hey, I analyzed your blood, Jen, and I was able to fix my arm completely with your blood. And she just straight up asked, oh, so is it because I'm better than you? I was like, really? Why? That's your reaction? And I was like, no, it's different. So I like, he's confused. Like, why would you say that? Yeah, it was weird. It was very weird. But yeah, I guess the joke is supposed to be, it's like Bruce doesn't want to say yes, kind of trying to make her realize this is not the point right now. But yeah, I guess it's supposed to be funny. I don't know. The comedy doesn't work for me, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, she's like, okay, can you turn me back? And he's like, no. There's no way to make you go back. You're a Hulk now. And yeah, but what about, can you build me one of these devices you made for yourself? He's like, no, it's a prototype. It took me years to actually make that work somehow. And it would even take me years to get one for you, to get it calibrated and stuff. So yeah, that's not happening. And then it looks like she's hyperventilating. He's like, hey, are you all right? But the joke is she's actually just hungry. So they go up and have some pancakes. Yeah, they have a little bit talk. And it's like, okay, we have to, you can't go back to your job. You need to learn how to control your Hulk. But luckily for you, because Bruce is a smart guy and a scientist, he documented everything he was just kind of doing during his tenure as the Hulk, and what he's been going through, and what he tried, and what worked, and what doesn't work. He's like, hey, I documented all this stuff. It might be speed up things for you, but here, I got you covered. I'm gonna help you. And he also says, like, well, it might take like 15 years for you to get control of this. She's like, what the fuck, 15 years? I have to go back to my job and this and that. So yeah, apparently Bruce Banner has like this whole book where he documented all the stuff he tried. Man, I would sure love to know what is in that book, but that's not what we do. It's just like, yeah, I did all these things. They're in here, but I'm not going to tell the audience because we're not going to explore that, unfortunately. So yeah. This would be like a real... Man, you could easily spend like 2 to 3 episodes just them going back and forth, where she has to cope with not being able to go back immediately and everything. But I'll talk about that a little bit later, because Bruce says something that could be a really, really interesting point of discussion between them that they have to figure out together. But yeah, unfortunately, we know from the scenes that have already been released during the days that came up to the show that this whole training thing is gonna go very quickly. So yeah, as you maybe seen the clip on social media where she gets put in the saw blade machine thingy, because they do that to figure out, oh hey, what is gonna trigger your information. So if we have all this data, we can work with that and get you to control all these things, easy peasy. But yeah, they turns it on, goes on, and she's like, ah, god, and then she turns to She-Hulk, destroys it, and she comes out kind of yelling. But it turns out she's just Jen. It's like, the fuck, you're Jen? It's like, yeah, it's just me. I'm just green now, basically. And it turns out she doesn't have an alter ego like Bruce Banner has. So she just gets the transformation, but is still in control of her phlisms. Which is interesting, because we have her pass out one time, get knocked out the second time, so we don't even know if she was in control the second time it happened. So that's kind of fishy. But she's just in control now. She can just turn into the She-Hulk and is chill. It's like, yeah, it's me. It's all good. And then we get the scene where Bruce is like, am I jealous? Is this jealousy I'm feeling? Which is kind of weird how he says it. It almost implies he never felt jealousy before. So yeah, I don't know what that's about. So yeah, I mean, I can get it that he's jealous, to be honest. It's like, oh man, you can just do this. That's cool for you, but man, I wish I would have had that. So yeah, but we want to make sure he says that out loud for some reason, because comedy, I guess. But yeah, she doesn't know how it's confused, feeling jealous. So I'm just looking at my notes. And she's basically instantly like, oh, okay, that's it. I guess we're done here, right? I can just leave. And oh boy, this next one is like, he's like, okay, we can just skip this part of my book, I guess. But he tells her that being a Hulk could mean if there's one misstep, one emotional outbreak, you could fuck up so many people's lives all around you. You could kill people, basically. And she's not like, oh shit, that's bad. She's like, fine, teach me to be a Hulk, I guess. Because she goes like, teach me to be a Hulk, please. Like, the way she sounds is like very, very sarcastic. And doesn't make me like her very much, if I'm being completely honest. It's like, we have this power where he's very... I'm sorry. is very knowledgeable about, and had all these things happen where he went on rampages he couldn't control, and she's just like, yeah, I guess you can teach me. Ugh. It's like, goddamn lady, he just told you that if you get like a super emotional stress or something, you could go on a rampage and kill your loved ones. So I don't know, you might want to consider doing some training with him and at least figure out if it's the same with you. So yeah, it's just, damn, have some decency, have some compassion for people around you, I guess. But we get to know she doesn't really, so whatever. And we get a montage of her basically nailing all the things instantly, while Bruce seemingly gets more annoyed because she's so good, or she doesn't take it seriously, I don't know. And he tells her that being Hulk is like putting a target on you, on everyone you love, bags. And then she says, oh great, another way my life is ruined. Thanks, Bruce. It's like, fuck you. Fuck you, honestly. I know you probably fucked off with this, but you don't need to fucking dick on him for that. Just being a wee prick, that's what she is. But yeah. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, there's upsides. You can drink a fuck ton of alcohol and you only get the buzz. So, I don't know, they drink a lot. Bruce tells her that he and Tony built this beach hut, if you will, this beach bar. And it was a good time during a hard time. And yeah, that's what he says to her. It's like, Tony sat here, drank mostly, complaining about Steve and stuff. And it's a nice little scene where he's just thinking back on the good times during the hard times. And she was like, okay, let's cheer to good time during a hard time, and then they both loudly burp. Could have done without the burp, to be honest. Would have been a perfectly fine scene without the burp, but hey. Hey, I'm not against burps. I do burp. I burp a lot, but no, there you go. Anyway, next morning we get to know that the hangover is still in the books, so that's still a thing. Then they go back to meditating, but she's not really doing it, and ask, hey, when can I leave? And he's like, man, there's so much you need to learn. Like, you need to calm down, like, whatever. And then she, god damn it, she says, oh, I can control this because hiding anger is like the baseline of being a woman in this world. And she's so good at controlling her anger because she's getting catcalled and basically mansplained so much by incompetent men that tell her how to do her work. She has to control her anger all the time. And she says, I have to do this much more infinite than you. And it seems like you're just projecting a lot of shit. Holy shit. Imagine saying that to Bruce Banner or the Hulk. And the Hulk just sits there like a deer looking in the headlights and goes like, yeah. This fucker went to so much shit and is trying to help this lady that accidentally got this power. Tried to kill himself at one point in the Marvel universe, and it was like a really impactful scene. It's like the one where Fury tells him, "Oh, the cage was just a thing in case," and he says, "Oh, in case you need to kill me, well, you can't. I tried. I put a bullet in my mouth, and the other one spat it out." It's like, fuck. So yeah, he went to all this shit to learn all this, and you just try to help someone, and she's like, oh, I'm doing this infinitely more than you, and you're just projecting. Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck are we doing? We just can't leave the old characters alone, can we? We just have to shit on Hulk now. I'm just like, he's trying to. You might think, but Metal, she apologizes later. Yeah, but she says, oh, I'm sorry I said these mean things to you, but they were all true, by the way. And even was like, oh, you're apologizing, but still doubling down. That's very lawyerly. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, I don't like her very much. She's being a prick to her family. Just remember, he's her cousin. And he went to so much shit. He tried to cope with all this stuff, but all the way thinking that ending his life is the only thing he could do to prevent all this pain he caused as the Hulk. And even at some point, the Hulk being so obliterated by Thanos that Hulk didn't want to come out for 2 years or whatever it was. So yeah, there's a lot of things he had to do, and just gets told that he's just projecting in someone else that's been leading a normal life, did all these things infinitely more than you. It's just goddamn. What a piss take. What an absolute piss take. Anyway, he tries to make her reconsider, tells her she has no choice but to be a superhero, and she disagrees and still wants to leave. And then he tries to make her consider what's going on, she just still wants to leave. And this is where I'm like, this could be a really interesting conversation they could have. Because Bruce thinks, it's like, hey, Earth is in danger like all the time to some degree. If you have this power, you have basically the responsibility to be a superhero now and can't do your other old stuff anymore. You have to be a superhero. Need to fight these aliens, those super villains and all that stuff. Like, it's your responsibility because you have this power, so you have to use it for good, or you're being super irresponsible. And she's like, well, I have a normal life I want to go back to. I just want to do these things, you know? I just want to go. I don't want to be a superhero. Like, I fell into this. I don't think it's fair that I have to be a superhero now. And I think you could have explored this way, way more, where they just talk about it over the course of, I don't know, weeks, months. They have this training in the future. And, yeah. But we don't get this. This is all we get. It's like, no, I don't want to leave. Bear of the responsibility. And then they have this fight you see running there in the background. And yeah, this is like stuff you could do through multiple episodes, like 2, maybe even 3 episodes. But that's not what's happening. She's just like, no, I want to go back to my life. Eat shit. It's really frustrating because it's right there. It's just right there where they can explore like that while they're both a Hulk, it's very different because she doesn't have an alter ego, and he had to go through all this shit to even be able to control the Hulk a little bit. Up until this point, like 15 years later, where he's able to be smart Hulk and talk like a normal person and everything, but still is powerful. While she has only the whole transformation part without an alter ego, which probably makes her able to just go back to her normal life and can do like this double life thing. I wonder if that's what we're going for in the long run, and she might go back for more training with him. I don't know. It's still obviously still the first episode, but so far it just seems like she feels like she's in the right. She's better than him and all the things because she just gets the hang of it, even though it's a very, very, very different situation for her. So yeah, it's there's something here. There's like a grain of oh, that's interesting. Let's explore this, but we don't do that because they have their fight where they yeet each other across the island or beach or whatever. It's probably beach, not an island, because she's about to leave with her jeep. But yeah, we don't get this, and I think it's a very, very wasted opportunity. Anyway, they fight after smart, and then I don't know. Oh yeah, he gets like yeeted by a jeep. Hulk does. Like he's trying to hold onto a jeep. She steps on the gas, and the jeep just yeets him into some boulders. Where it's like, I don't think that's not how this works. Hulk can just punch a big ass, tons of heavy thing and make it stop in its Jesus, stop in its tracks. But that's not what happened. No, he just gets yeeted by the jeep, which is nonsense. Yeah, they go back and forth, eating each other around. He does the Hulk clap, and I don't know. She tries it once, fails, tries it again. It's a little bit, and then she does like I don't know 10 Hulk claps in a row very easily, even though it doesn't look like she changes anything in her movement. So yeah, she's just nailing all these things. It's so boring. Like I hate when they do this with characters, and it's like, oh look, I see this has happened, and really, someone's on the door right now. Well, I can't. So yeah, they do all these things, and she's being very, very good at fighting. She's kind of holding up to him for some reason, and I don't really know why. But yeah, I think like if they would like go all out, Hulk is probably gonna batter her like crazy, but he's obviously trying to hold back a bit. And yeah, they eat each other around, and that doorbell kind of fluked me a little bit. Let's see. I kind of lost track of my notes here. Right. Oh yeah, I even forgot to mention because she tells him, "Oh, I don't know why you want me to be like you. You lived like 4 years in isolation and had all this depression stuff going on. I don't know why you would want that for me." And she basically calls him a cautionary tale instead of like I don't know what else she would think instead of this. I'm missing like a word here. So she tells him that he is a cautionary tale, even though he basically overcome all these things where he is to be where he is now. And I think it's not a cautionary tale. It's basically a thing. It's like, oh, you had this crazy odds against you and you overcome it with your wits and everything you had to do, which I can just speculate on what he did because you never get to know. But yeah, whatever. Fuck the Hulk, I guess. But yeah, they eat each other around and they end up falling onto the beach bar he and Tony built. And he's like, oh shit, my bar. And yeah, they just rebuild it. And then Bruce says, for some reason, well, if you want to go back to your job and stuff, I respect that. And then we get a fourth wall break where she says, he doesn't mean that. And he shouldn't. For all he knows, she could go rampage at every moment. She gets like super angry and just fuck up the city or whatever. Remember how he said earlier that one emotional outbreak could fuck everything up and you destroy all the cities? Because, well, it seems like she can control her power, her transformation. We don't know what happens if she gets like into real trouble, you know? When something happens, I don't know, a parent dies from some supervillain. Maybe she goes on a goddamn rampage. And I think we don't get to see that Bruce explores this enough to make a good judgment to say, okay, you're fine, you can do the thing. But yeah, that's it. She leaves the island and we're done. I couldn't tell you how long she's been here. Could have been a couple of days, could have been a couple of weeks. I don't know. We don't get a good feeling on where we are time-wise. So yeah, it's definitely not long enough, I can tell you that. But we just established she's just good at everything, but whatever. But yeah, she says thank you to him, which is nice. At least she's not ungrateful. And then she says, I'm sorry for all these harsh things I said to you, but they were all true. It's like, oh, awesome, fuck you then. Why bother? Because like, oh, she's actually apologizing, it's nice. And then she says, oh yeah, but they were all true, by the way. It's like, oh, cool, thank you. Anyway, we're back to the present. And she says like, oh, see, it's been a couple of months. There hasn't been any crazy Hulk things happening. And says, well, he was wrong, I was right. And I will be going to win this case now. It's like, oh, cool, thank you. You're very likable. Very likable, thank you. And then we go to the courtroom where the other one tells defendants, those deaths were accidental, blah, blah, blah. The man lawyer on her team says, don't fuck this up because he's mean, you know. She's about to start her final statement. And for some reason, some random superpowered lady bursts through the wall for seemingly no reason at all. She's just here like, hey, I'm looking around. I'm superpowered. And then her friendo says like, hey, you have to turn into the Hulk thingy. He's like, oh man, I really like this outfit. So she gets off her shoes. She turns into the Hulk. And then it's like, hey, who are you? Jennifer Walters, attorney at law. And then basically, if you've seen the clip they posted on Twitter, it's exactly how they put it in the movie. It's like a weird clip show. She throws a table gets thrown back, she lands under it, and then she does this. She does a damn Zohan kick. Look at this. Woo! It's like, what the fuck? I can't believe this is real. It looks so floopy. Whoop! Look at this. It's the Zohan kick. It's crazy. Oh man, I don't know. These things get a lot of budget, by the way, and that's what they do. That's funny. It's funny to think about. But yeah, she beats her up in this floopy scene. It looks like it's been cut together for a Twitter clip or a TikTok. It's interesting. But yeah, she turns back, says she's ready for her closing argument, and that's how the show ends. God damn. God frickin' damn. Really floopy. Really floopy. Oh yeah, we get like some after credit scene with some paintings and where they go buy some stuff, Hulk repairing his room. And we get like an actual after credit scene where she's drunk and talks about how it's not fair that Steve has been a virgin, he's done so much. And then Bruce says, "Oh no, he lost his virginity somewhere there." And she's like, "Yeah, Steve fucked," and that's it. That's how it ends. Really funny, really funny. Yeah, really funny. Yeah, there you go. We fucked on an established character that already didn't get enough love, We don't get to know anything more about Bruce. I don't know when we see Bruce again, if ever. I'm not sure. Because when she leaves, like, okay, see you at the next family dinner, goodbye. So, for some reason, she doesn't even consider talking to him more. I feel like there should be some kind of connection between them now, just being both Hulks and such, you know? Yeah, we don't get anything from Bruce. Bruce just is not very smart, to be honest. It's just, hey, you need to be careful, you could kill people, too. Oh, no, it's fine, you can go back. After those X amount of time you did the things. Here, the training. So, yeah, good job. It's, she's not very likable. She seems super cocky and doesn't even consider the things Bruce has said to her. It's like, hey, you could kill people just like that. It's like, yeah, whatever. Train me, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it's terrible. It's really bad. Gotta be watching the other episodes too. I think I might do more of these. I don't know. I guess you could call them short forges. I don't really have a format for this, so I'm just gonna use the Metals Forge format for this, even though it's way shorter than a normal Forge episode, where I do like much more research and go through everything in the movies and stuff and try to do my best with being as detailed as possible, if you will. Well, this was more like of a ramble that could have been even more detailed if you take into consideration what we've known before and everything. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it becomes this weird, quirky attorney lawyer story in the next episodes. But I don't know. We already saw in the trailer and everything that for some reason Wong is gonna talk to her and tells her that things are going on. I think Daredevil is gonna show up at some point. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes from here, but not very hopeful it's gonna be really good, just considering everything that's been coming out in general, I guess, and especially Marvel/Disney. Not been real good. Not been good at all, I'm afraid. But we shall see how it goes. Anyway, that's all the thoughts I have. I just wanted to share those because I did take the notes and I didn't want to let them go to waste. So yeah, I might do the same for the other episodes. Just a little, I don't know, a little breakdown, a little review, a little ramble, if you will. Because I just don't have the time to do big forges for everything. Rings of Power is coming out soon, so those will probably be the next couple of forges that will be going live. But yeah, if you have any ideas how to make this format, maybe I'll do a little. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some different format going for this, like short forge or micro forge. I don't know if you have like any good ideas for, I don't know, names for that format where you do like a short thing, like, you know, basically like the EFAP minis and stuff like that. Maybe something similar. This is most similar I can come up with, but this is much more of a ramble and not a reaction. Yeah, and these are unedited, so there you go. Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Just a little shortism here and there. Because I'll probably be doing this because there's a lot of things coming out and I can't cover them all with like hour-long episodes, unfortunately. Because time is just not kind in these kinds of things. So yeah, let me know what you thought. Easy for me to say. Down in the comments, you know how it is. The next proper long forge will be next week. I will be talking about The Incredibles with good old Jay. That should be fun because that is a good movie. That should be fun to talk about. And after this, I think Rings of Power will be going up. And I actually need to see when those go up, because I think the first episode is going to go up on a different day than planned. So yeah, those might be coming out like Sundays or whatever. It depends when the episodes are going to be released. But that's that. If you, I'm streaming Cult of the Lamb right now on the Twitch and sometimes on the YouTube, because I do YouTube streams once in a while as well, just to give the YouTube people some love as well. Because there's the archive channel where all my Twitch streams go up. I do some live streams on there as well sometimes. And if you want to go over to the Twitch, you can catch me live there. Like at the moment, it's like once or twice a week because I'm just doing the other things like Metal's Forge and whatnot. So yeah, that's that. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next time. Goodbye.